Hey everybody, Mark over here at Twanger's Turntable. Cheers. Let's do some more A&W root beer. Good stuff. So, back for another video. The reason I'm back today is for twofold. I want to jump on my buddy Steve's contest to push for 750 and his this fucking guy video. But on top of that, twofold, I say, because I'm going to also include some titles that start with S, so I can continue the alphabet thread started by our buddy Jacob, who is MIA presently, but hopefully he's doing well and he will return. But yeah, so basically, I've picked out six records here that begin with S, and to jump on to intertwine that with Steve's contest. It's essentially, we've got to help Steve out here as fellow members of the VC. Steve's got a problem that is basically making his life unmanageable. And if you have not seen some of the videos, it's essentially his addiction or compulsion to give VCLT to Sam St. John. Now, I'm not going to say much about Sam St. John because I think it's been well documented, and as Steve so eloquently put it, he's a one-trick pony. So what can I say? And of course, I pulled up the contest here so you can all see it. If you're not familiar with Steve's channel, get over there and subscribe. And of course, he's wearing the Tom Petty jersey there, the T-shirt, in recognition of Sam St. John's fandom of Tom St. Petty, of Sam St. John's love of Tom Petty. So I'm going to read off the criteria for Steve's contest. Number one, post a video, ta-da, where you heap praise on Steve and why I think Sam is a one-trick pony. Winner will be determined by a random spin on the wheel. Well, why is Sam a one-trick pony? Boy, oh boy, has it not been said already? I mean, yes, he's got the lettuce, like no other. Was maybe a strong case could be made for our buddy Jack over at Final Martini, but let's not bring him into this. This is about Steve and his issues with Sam St. John. So yes, he's got the flowing lettuce, and essentially, if you go to Sam St. John's channel, all you're going to see is music about Tom Petty or Bob Dylan or something folky like that, Americana, which is all fine and good, to each their own, but come on, it's not very diverse. So, that's really all I can say. And I can't really add much more to what's already been said. So that's why he's a one-trick pony. Okay, so the winner will be determined by a random spin on the wheel. I said that. Number two, within the video, perform a song, poem, dance, spoken word, whatever you want, explaining why I should stop sending VCLT to Sam, and that will be judged by Steve based upon one's creativity and originality. All right, so without further ado, Steve, the first step to recognizing you have a problem is to admit you have a problem. Now, I think as a responsible VC member like myself and others of your loyal fan base, I can't think of a better way to help you than perhaps introduce you to a 12-step program. I mean, it's got to stop, man. I mean, there's you're a very generous dude, and the VCLT that you've sent throughout the vinyl community is well received and very much appreciated. But honestly, it can't keep going. Certainly not to the one-trick pony, who is Sam St. John. Don't forget to tune into Steve and Trevor and Marcia this Sunday night for Sunday Night Vinyl Confessions. So let's get to it. Time for an intervention, Steve. And what better way to do it than with a 12-step program? The first step of the 12-step program, Steve, is admit you are powerless over Sam and your life has become unmanageable. 2, you have to come to believe that a power greater than Sam could restore you to sanity. That's us, buddy. 3, you make a decision to turn your will and life over to the care of the VC as you understand it. 4, make a searching and fearless inventory of your records and yourself. 5, admit to Sam, yourself, and another VC member the exact nature of your wrongs, VCLT. Where are we? 6, you're entirely ready to have the VC remove all these defects of character. That's a simple one, right? 7, humbly ask the VC, humbly, to remove your shortcomings. We can help you with that. We can spread this VCLT around, buddy. 8, you make a list of all members you have harmed by giving so much freaking VCLT to Sam St. John and become willing to make amends to us all. 9, you make direct amends to such members when possible, except when doing so would injure them or others. 10, you continue to take record inventory, and when wanting to send Sam VCLT, you promptly admit it. Step 11, sought through prayer, meditation, and enjoying some Tommy Bolin to improve your conscious contact with your records, asking only for the knowledge of the VC members' will for you and the power to carry it out. 12, having a spiritual awakening. As a result of these steps, you carry this message to other VC members and practice these principles in all your affairs. This fucking guy. And I'm confident, Steve, with that and a little help from your friends, this can be overcome. We can do what I couldn't. Come on, man. We have faith in you. Cheers, buddy. And I will also take this moment to wish everybody good luck in your contest. And dude, I am such a fan of your channel, as you know. I thoroughly enjoy watching. Sam, this is nothing personal, but come on. It has to stop. Both of you. Sound like an old dad here with his kids. Maybe I've had so much of that recently with the grandson. Speaking of A&W, Aiden and William, love you boys. So let's get on to my S records. And yes, that ties in with the shirt I'm wearing. That starts with S. Steve starts with S. Sam starts with S. Come on, it's simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. All right, so my records for the alphabet thread. I'm going to start off with probably something I know Steve is very fond of. This was back in 1974 and probably one of my favorites by this band. I have most of their catalog. I really enjoy them. I don't know if you would consider them progressive. I don't think I do. No. Maybe, I guess you can make argument there's elements of progressive rock in their music, but Crime of the Century, of course, by Supertramp. Yeah, I mean, certainly, I guess. I'm not a prog rock, I guess, aficionado. So sometimes I get a little unsure whether something is prog rock or not, because I'm not typically listening for a story in the music or a theme. It's the music, not so much the vocals. But of course, this I mean, I heard this from way back when I was a kid. In 1974, I would have been 6 years old. So by my older siblings on 8-track, nonetheless, this would have got played a lot. And it's, you know, it's classic Rick Davis and Hodgson. That duo, their songwriting, their playing, just phenomenal album, in my opinion, from 1974. Next up would be an all-time favorite for me in the genre of rock, hard rock, and I think very influential in many bands, certainly in the glam scene that were to come along later on, and hard rock. This is probably their hardest album that they produced, and it's the Capitol version here in North America, as opposed to the RCA version that was released over in the UK and most of Europe, I guess. But it was also released here in Canada. I said North America, but Japan as well. But Desolation Boulevard by Sweet. This is another one that I remember right from my childhood, and probably one of the biggest influence in my progression into hard rock and metal would be this album. It's such a banger. It's yeah. What else do I say about it? The only difference between this one and the UK version, I think, is the UK version has the long version of Fox on the Run, and this is just a single version. But the UK version also featured a song called "Turn It Down," I think, which was on Sweet Fanny Adams. It's essentially very similar to release to that Sweet Fanny Adams. But what an amazing album! Yeah. So this is the North American cover. The UK cover's got the swirl, well, with Sweet in the circle. Very similar album cover, but just an incredible album. If you've not heard that one, I would recommend that all day long to anybody that's into classic rock, hard rock, metal, because that is, I think, a very influential album in terms of that genre going forward. Next up, another one. This would be the first album I heard by these guys, and then I visited, explored their other catalog because they're one of my favorite bands. But yeah, 1982 and Blackout. Um, I did get the reissue of this one a few years ago. It came with an extra CD, and but this is my original ish copy. I don't think it's a 82 release. It could be, but I don't remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, everybody, well, most people I would suggest are quite familiar with this album. In fact, they did the demos of this when Klaus Meine was having vocal issues. He had surgery, so Don Dokken of Dokken did the demos, the vocals for the demos, and so he is credited as being he is credited as backing vocalist on here. But yeah, 1982. I mean, one of my favorite tunes by the Scorps is on here with China White. Love that. And again, another difference with the UK version. I think the guitar solo on China White, the UK, is slightly different because Schenker couldn't make up his mind which one he liked best, so they released both. One on the North American issue and one on the UK issue, European issue. But yeah, Blackout, Can't Live Without You, No One Like You, Give Me All I Need. Now, every song on here is like a greatest hits of Scorps to me, but it's the first one. It's my introductory to Scorps, so I'm biased. I clearly admit that. I do like some of their older stuff, especially the stuff with Uli Roth, Dynamite, Arizona. That's a great tune. China White, and When the Smoke is Going Down. Wow, just this is a killer album in my opinion. Next up, got to give these guys a shout. Love this, just an amazing debut album. But yeah, Sabotage 1983 or Sirens by Sabotage 1983. Just finally got this within the last year and a half, 2 years ago, with the original, as opposed to the Sirens on the front, like the UK version. Does it show it in here? I don't think it does. No. But this is a killer album too. I mean, that the title track alone is worth the price of admission, in my humble opinion. What an amazing album! And again, another band I think that was fairly influential on a lot of bands. They would go much more progressive after this, but this is their heaviest album, I think. Anyway, they're, as far as metal, that '80s metal sound. This is it. That was their best, in my opinion. I like their other stuff. And then some Canadian content. Sega, Worlds Apart, 1981. It's another one I could have presented for what I was listening to at 13. Great album. And quite different than their prior three albums. This is their fourth release. The first, what's his name? Michael Sadler, the vocalist, sound quite different on the first three albums, but it's the same vocalist, just changed the way he I guess the way he delivered his vocals on this. And yeah, On the Loose would be the big one on here. On the Loose. It was not. There's another one on here. They're all quite familiar to me. Like I say, when you listen to something so much, it's hard to pick out what may have been the popular. But I think the only one that charted would have been On the Loose for that back in '81. Sega, good Canadian progressive rock, I would suggest. And then one that's a little more of the out of the vein of newer acts that I've gotten into in the last, what is this, 2024? So probably the last 10, 15 years, I guess. I think I discovered them around 08, 07, 09 maybe. And through it might have been something that was back then when I used to peek in on my family members and whatnot on Facebook just to keep in touch. I think one of my relatives, or no, it wasn't. This is the one I heard. I do work in people's homes. I do service and whatnot. And some people have these streaming services playing throughout their house. And I heard this band, and that's what it was. So I asked the homeowner at the time who it was, and up on their screen it showed who the artist was. And it's a band called Silver Sun Pickups. Now I know they get a lot of comparisons to um, Smashing Pumpkins, but I don't think they're anything like Smashing Pumpkins, and maybe that's me. But the rhythm section on here is just killer, and I think that's what pulls me in. But yeah, it's a great. I've picked up pretty much everything except their latest to this point since then. Um, but this is their full length studio debut. They had done one in '06, Picole, I think it's called, or Pikul, Pico maybe. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Looks like pickle to me. But yeah, really, really solid. It's alternate rock. They're out of California. It's definitely alternate rock. But I like it. I really dig it. It's something different I can throw on and really chill too. And whatever floats your boat, because I know my bestie Jen is not a big fan of it. Billy Corgan, that's who I was trying to think of from Smashing Pumpkins. A lot of people make that correlation or influence. I don't know if there's an influence, but I don't think there might be some similarities. It's on a pretty cool, clear brownish vinyl, but I like it. I like all their stuff. The Neck of the Woods, and this is their debut. Caravans, Carnivas, not Caravans, Carnivas. But that's it for my S's. Tied into Steve's contest. That fucking guy, Sam St. John. Like I say, Steve, I hope you enjoyed this, buddy. Always appreciate your support and everything I do. So just want to reciprocate that. Everybody should get over to Steve's channel if you haven't already and sub him up. Show the love, help him out. It's we can do what I couldn't, so he really needs the support to get over this infatuation or compulsion he has. But I'm confident he will, and with a little help from his friends, like I say. Hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed doing it. I've been fighting to get this one done because ever since I saw his post of the contest, I've been wanting to do it. Just haven't had the time for whatever reason. Yada, yada, yada. It's done. Hope to see more people jump on this. May 9th is the deadline. He just did a video this morning as a reminder, and I'd been thinking about it for a long time. We've been wanting to get it done. So, and yeah, I hope Jacob is doing okay over there in Denmark as well. Jump on. I guess you can't jump on his channel, but it's just a thread, an alphabet thread, and I see Kim over at This Is Music is still doing it. I know Jason at Jason Skills, Low Noise Skills, had finished his up, and many others. I mean, Steve had done his. So now I'm just rambling. But yeah, I had fun doing this, Steve. Good luck to everybody. And yeah, we'll see you again soon here at Twanger's Turntable. I do have the grandsons again this weekend, so I won't be doing any more probably until next week sometime. But I do appreciate you all stopping by. If you're new, I hope you'll return and find something you dig. Those that are returning, you know how it works. Just I get a video up when I can, and hopefully it's worthy in the VC to be viewed by you. Until then, take care, everybody. Cheers.